Good evening, everyone. My name is Zhang Youwen, and today it's my pleasure to share the interesting topic about magnetoreception in honeybee. I am now a graduate student from entomology, which means I study insects, especially in honeybees. And before we start, I want to ask some questions. Michelle, if you want to go Shilin Night Market after meeting, how will you do? Yes, you might probably take MRT or taking the taxi to go there. And another question is, April, when you go abroad, how do you know where you are?
I ask my Google Map.
Yes, you might use your map or GPS to know your location. But in animals, there are so many cues that they will use for orientation and navigation. And I briefly divide it into three parts. First is sun compass, and the landmark, and the geomagnetism. And today I'm going to focus on the geomagnetism. We know that the Earth is like a big magnet, and because of the steady signal it provides, and the insect can use this steady signal to help their navigation and orientation. And there are evidence shows that in previous research, the termite, flies, and cockroach will change their body axis when the rotated field in the rest. And we can see there are many examples that I showed here, from bacteria to the animals in recent days. It shows the animals can sense the magnetic field. And how about honeybees? So my first point is, are honeybees able to sense the magnetic field? And here is the evidence. In 1972, the researcher found that the homing behavior will change when extra field added. It means that when I add the extra field between the comb and the flowers, the honeybees cannot find the flower position. And another evidence in 1982, the orientation of comb building is associated with fields. It means that if I change the magnetic field, the comb building will change the direction. And the next example is the most important part. Is in 1988. The researcher found that the free-flying bee can be trained to discriminate the different magnetic field. We can see in this picture, the left part is the sweeter water. And if we change to the water, the honeybee still can go to the sweeter water which originally located. And it shows that it can discriminate the different fields, direction. So there are growing evidence also shows that the honeybee will sense the field based on their abandonment. And my second point is, our different age of honeybees have different magnetosense. Here, because the newly emerged honeybees, we call them the nurse bee, which means it will help them to clean the colonies, clean the comb in colonies, or help them to protect the colonies. But when they grow up, they will become the forager, which means they will go out and find the pollen and honey back to the colony. In order to test different age honeybees' magnetosense, I use the classical conditioning to test them, and which means at first I will do the healthy check, and means I will give the sweet water to check the honeybee's tongue can stick out healthily. And then I go to the training section. For the first part, I will just give them the magnetic stimulus, and then I will give the sweet water, trying to combine these two stimulus. It means that in the test section, when I just give the magnetic stimulus, the honeybee will know it have the sweet water can eat, and they will stick out their tongue. And we can see clearly in this video. We can see that we can see that the compass I show here means the change of magnetic stimulus. And when when the magnetic field change, I will also give them the sweet water. And in order and trying to combine these two stimulus. And then in the test section, I will just give the magnetic stimulus, and we can see that their tongues stick out. So it proves that it can sense the magnetic field. And in order to quantify the iron concentration in their abandonment, so I use ICP mass to quantify the iron concentration. And in this picture result, which shows that after 20 trials, their learning ability dramatically increased. And for the ICP mass analysis, we can see the iron concentration of older adult bee is much more comparing with the younger adult bee. It's because the forager need to go out to find the pollen and the honey. So they must have the strong navigation strategies. So my conclusion is honeybee can sense the magnetic field, and honeybee will use the magnetic field to help their orientation and navigation. And it can also be trained. And the sensitivity of forager is better than younger bees. And thank you for your attention.